don't care what the fuck we have to go through. I'm gonna go through it with you. We're gonna go through it together. Listen. If you gotta stay with me and find a job, we're gonna sit all night going through applications together. I will not let you fall. You understand me? I am never going to let you fall. I'm always going to have your back. I'm always going to make sure you have it. Look at me. You're not broke. If you can sit there and put food on the table, then you're fine. You got us. Look at me. You're not broke. If you can sit there and put food on the table, then you're fine. You got us.
I have a question for the men. What the fuck do you want?
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Tonight's video is about one of the positive types of women that I've come across, the ride or die. And I believe this woman is more rare than the sweetheart. Because you can run into the sweetheart. But will the sweetheart be ride or die for you? I'm not sure if she will. It depends how strong she is on being influenced by the people around her. And not every man deserves ride or die. Because if a man is abusing a woman and beating on her, he doesn't deserve ride or die energy from that woman. Now, I can say some negative things about the ex-wife, but I will say in a portion of our relationship, probably after the first 4 to 5 months, because it was that sticky situation of a man that she was still in love with, but yet she was with me. When that finally faded, and I'm not exactly sure when, it was a pocket in there that she was ride or die for me for at least 2 to 3 years. After that, but before we got married, she was ride or die. And by that being that there was things that happened in my life and she didn't just leave me when it happened. I'll never forget that. Because I don't think a lot of women would do that. I know some of my especially the girlfriend I was with, my last serious girlfriend, because obviously I was with other women after her. Yet, probably because I was guarded, probably because my defenses was up. Maybe I didn't let it get past a certain point. But I didn't consider them serious relationships because I just saw things that I was like, catch and release. Okay, she seems like a good person, but she's a 304. You can go back to whence you came. Okay. But with that woman that I was serious with after my ex-wife, she was not ride or die. But she was a nice person. Okay. Her weakness was, which is a lot of women, was being influenced by friends, telling our relationship business, probably getting the wrong advice, probably thinking that I'm like every other dude, even though I'm showing her that I'm not. But when she's not around me, probably anxiety or thinking, and then talking to other people, they plant seeds of doubt in her head. And then obviously she gets into an environment where there's a man that she's somewhat attracted to that's whispering in her ear, and then she goes that way. That's just a short thing right there. Anyway, with the woman, that was ride or die. I did appreciate that from her. And that is the reason why, for that person, for the person that she was at that time, I will have her back if I am truly needed and she's acting with some sense. If she's acting how she was acting up to the end of the marriage and a bit after the marriage, then no, because she was acting totally nasty, disrespectful. Can't deal with that shit. Now she's acting a lot better. I do still think it's because of the YouTube channel, okay? But I do have to give her credit that she can at least, even though she won't verbally say it to me, she admits that she was fucking wrong. Okay. Hey, we have to take our wins however they come. So as long as she's acting how she is acting now, because of how she, from the things that she did in the past, I won't forget it. I had to pause on that one. I had to really think. And of course, with me, is not because I'm such a good person. Well, I don't know. I let other people determine that. But I always try to treat people how I want them to treat me. If they don't, then I start being nasty, or I start not being a good person. Okay. And I'm glad I have at least that gear in me. I have a clip right here about this woman explaining ride or die. And I'm probably going to share this other clip about this man explaining how a woman can be ride or die as well. But let her talk first.
Okay, collective, so we're gonna have a little talk here. The energy that Spirit wants me to discuss tonight is about ride or die energy and what it means to be a ride or die and what society has deemed to be ride or die, but it's actually just a toxic cycle of abuse. So for starters, I was channeled a song already, and this song has always given me ride or die energy. Like, I'd walk through hell for you. But let me say, walking through hell for someone does not mean walking through the hell that they put you through. Let's keep that in mind. Walking through hell for someone means being there for them at their lowest. Being there for them when, family dies. Being there for them when they're going through financial issues. Being there for them when they're going through hardships within their life. But that does not equate to them doing bad things to you because bad things are happening to them. Being a ride or die is not Harley Quinn and Joker energy. It is, in fact, Harley Quinn an Ivy energy. Somebody that's going to help you out of your lowest points and help you shine and be there for you when you're getting out of abusive relationships, when you're making bad decisions. They're going to guide you right back to where you should be, realign you, recalibrate your energy.
And even though this video is not really about this, this is how a lot of times men are ride or die for women. Okay. When they're going through their emotional mess, when they have these hard to break habits of spending money that they don't have on shoes, eating out. That's what I did for her. Okay. Because she was always living in la la land with her spending. And look, I understand as a man, that's part of my job when I'm in with a woman. If we are doing traditional gender roles, of course, though, what does the woman supposed to do in the gender role? Well, and this is not even the precedent of getting in the kitchen and cooking and stuff like that. A woman should be supportive. A woman should be there for her man. She should be a comfort, not a distraction, as much as possible, because of course we are all human. But again, I see a lot of the good or decent men do this particular thing of holding their relationship together, shoring up the weakness that a woman may have, usually with spending or with always being in an emotional state of anxiety. Now, as me and my ex-wife's relationship progressed, did I start slacking in that area? I think I did. And my only mistake with this is I did, and a lot of men do this. I did not say what was bothering me with what she was doing, such as hanging out with a bunch of dudes or doing things that wasn't adding up, having me wondering if maybe every once in a while she was doing something behind my back. So in turn, I was being shady as well. Even if it was a small thing of either watching something that she did not like me watching, or either just being a little overly friendly with women. See, and that's where, as I can admit, that's where I felt that I should have just been like, hey. And I believe men have to do this because women, the only time they will bring up issues when they bring up a problem in a relationship is when they have an issue with you. They're not going to bring up something of like, hey, I think we need to talk. I know I have been treating you well, or I've been doing. No, she's not going to do that. It's up to you to do that for yourself and try not to do it when she brings up a problem. Because I know a lot of men do this because we hold a lot of stuff in and we're not trying to rock the boat and have her leave because we are bringing up stuff. Whereas she feels overly comfortable with bringing up stuff because we deal with it and we just stay. Okay. And this is not to say don't bring up stuff. I'm just saying, as men, we need to be more brave to bring up stuff no matter what's going to happen. And bear in mind, she's probably going to do the same thing that she would accuse a man of doing, of bringing up things that you did as well. Okay, so both of us would do this, but we have to be willing to have that particular conversation. And I think, I know after doing it now, I handle it better if I bring it up, even if she rebuttals and does other stuff, if I bring up the problem.
A ride or die is somebody who's going to stick with you through thick and thin, right? But being a ride or die is a choice. But as soon as the person who, is in charge or in control of where things are going, and they start abusing or hurting the person who is willing to do anything and everything for them, risk their life, wind up in jail with them, whatever, that's a ride or die. That's somebody that's always gonna be there for you no matter what. But that does not mean allowing somebody to disrespect you, to abuse you over and over, to not care about your mental health or your well-being, to put them first and their needs. That's just a toxic relationship that you need to find yourself out of. If they do not care that you're going through something that could be completely altering your reality, and if they're still so focused on, what you can do for them, that's not a ride or die. That's somebody jumping out of the driver's seat while you're in the vehicle and expecting you to fend for yourself.
Wow, that is a perfect example of how a woman is not ride or die, or a man, but we're talking about the ride or die woman. And this is the thing that always confuses me with the ex-wife. She was ride or die and not leaving me. If some altercation happened with a guy or something, she would jump in, and I'm like, get back, stay out of it type of thing. But if it was a financial situation, that's basically what I felt like she would do. Just jump out of the car. Like, hey, you drive in the car, I am out type of thing. She never said this verbally. This is just how she was. And of course, before men or even women will come on and say, well, as a man, that's your job. Ugh, I understand. And yes, that's true in the gender roles. That's my role to, no matter what, to handle the financials. However, during this short journey of being divorced and paying child support, and once again, I have no issue paying child support. I wonder if I should do a video on this. And we did not do the legal thing of them taking money out of my check. I just give her the money that we agreed upon, and depending on the situation, I'll give extra. Now, I give her credit with not being a total bitch in this issue here, because if she went the legal route, then that would have been all that I would put in, because I would feel a certain kind of way, because I wouldn't have done it. I would have just, thinking of our whole relationship and thinking of our daughter, I would just do the right thing. Now, I understand a lot of men don't do it that way. It's like pulling teeth, and as a woman, if he's not doing nothing for you, because I know my dad didn't pay child support, okay? I don't know what the situation was, and of course it was years before, 80, I don't know, back there, that I guess they didn't press it like that. But I don't know. I don't know. I just have that sense of honor thing or something. Maybe that's rare these days. I always try to do the right thing by people. And I try to take my feelings out of it, especially if somebody else is involved, like a kid or something. Not everybody does that. I understand. But I guess that's the thing that hurt me the most with her when I think back. When we was going through that in real time, I did not think of it. And that's the thing too. And that's not saying a woman should give you money and and stuff like that, because I know as a man I have too much pride to be like, hey, can you give me a few dollars? I know some men have no shame of asking their woman for money. I mean, even taking it makes me feel a certain kind of way. But things that she probably could have did was either could have cut off spending or not make it harder on my back by increasing the financial strain, not caring what's going on, saying that she wants certain things or she needs certain things that I know we can go without. That's how she could have been better in that situation. And I lost my train of thought. But not being in a relationship, I know even with paying child support, I save a lot more money. I have a lot more money in my bank account. Okay. It's not where I want it to be though, but I know I'm not living on the brink from paycheck to paycheck, hoping something doesn't go wrong or hoping I always get a certain amount of hours or something. I don't go through that now. So that tells me that when I was in a relationship, I was sacrificing everything for her. She didn't care once she didn't feel how she felt at that portion that she was ride or die, but I was doing ride or die stuff at that time, despite how she was treating me, because I just didn't want to leave her and make her a single mom, especially after we had a kid or something. So that's the perplexing thing. And she was ride or die in certain areas. In certain areas, she was not. And I do think it had a lot to do with the people that she was talking to and the people that was in her life. So if you come across a woman that's ride or die, do appreciate her, but realize she may not stay like that. And also, a one negative thing with ride or die relationships, looking back on our relationship or some of the people that I noticed that is ride or die, it is can easily become toxic.
It was not a relationship you want to be in. I've been in plenty. You don't want to be in those kind of relationships because they will whittle away at your self-worth. They will hurt you. They will make you feel like you are nothing. Because they feel like they're nothing. So they project that onto you. And then you start feeling the way that they do about yourself. And that is not a ride or die. That is a train wreck waiting to happen. Stay tuned for the next part.
That was some words of wisdom right there. I don't know this creator's name. I just grabbed this video off. I don't think she's big on YouTube. And as I often say, I do not belittle people or make fun of people. Not my type, but I like her spirit of how she explained how probably she was in some of her relationships with the ride or die thing. But we're going to look at that video.
Women are loyal to their feelings. If a woman is completely in love with a guy, if she is 11 out of 10 attracted to him, then her loyalty is impressive indeed, and she will remain loyal as long as those feelings remain in her heart. A woman who is extremely attracted to a man will move across the world for him, will change her religion for him, will break with her family for him, will lie, cheat, and steal for him, and will help bury the body with him if necessary. A woman at that level of attraction is ride or die, and she will do absolutely crazy, irrational, and life-altering things for a man to keep him in her life. It's both impressive and terrifying how loyal a woman can be under the right conditions. Of course, the caveat is that when that feeling shifts, when the attraction dips, when the love disappears, then so does the loyalty. The best way to secure loyalty from a woman is to continually do the things that encourage her desire and attraction to remain at a very high level.
And this is something that it took me a long time to figure out, and no man has ever told me this. I had to find this stuff out online. And of course, don't believe everything that you hear online. I know, especially as men, a lot of us will think for ourselves with a lot of stuff, especially with picking our women or our relationships. We don't easily go with the herd, even if it is for our own good. But at least do this for me, you hard-headed guys, because I was one. Just think back to some of your relationships. And if a woman was showing you a lot of love and attention, and then it just disappeared, especially after you hit certain milestones or something, think if you wasn't doing something to help her maintain that feeling. And I have to think with a lot of us, okay, maybe we got into a routine or life changed with job or something. Maybe we're not giving her as much attention. Yeah, that could definitely happen. But what I think ultimately happened was is a shelf life for anything. And I do think with that ride or die energy, which I think that's an intense type of infatuation, love, attachment thing for women, I think that can last the longest out of the puppy love and those initial feelings. That will last the longest, but that still will fade. That intense feeling will fade no matter what you do, because as humans, we get conditioned to stuff. So if you are rich and famous and you are always experiencing the best things in life, eventually you're going to get somewhat bored of it. And then you're going to want some other thrill. Maybe climb a mountain, maybe bid 20 women in one day. I don't know. But as humans, I know a lot of us get bored with stuff, and then we want something different eventually. And I think that's the same thing with women. No matter how intense that she feels for you, she's going to run into somebody else that may start to spark that same feeling that she once had for you. Once that feeling starts to fade, it is inevitable. Okay, that's going to happen. The only thing that I can hope is that maybe your love can morph into a mature admiration partnership with the woman that you are with, and you two walk through life together and you still remember everything that you went through, and it's a more, I guess, it turns into a love like you would have for your family type of thing. But that passion may be gone. And unless if I meet somebody that's still, and I'm pretty sure it's an anomaly out there, that somebody's still in that passionate stage. But I think one, that was her first choice. that was the guy that she initially wanted, and he didn't fuck up, such as cheat on her or get caught cheating, and he is reasonably good to her, not enough that it becomes boring, but he's not cruel to her either. And each one of them accept each other as is, but they're not horrible to each other, at least within their eyes. So, one more. Again, that I used in the beginning of a real time woman being ride or die for her man. And not all women will be as verbal of this. I really go more by a woman's actions, well, anybody's actions, but their actions more than their words. Even though I will listen to the words, but after being disappointed so many times in life with people talking the big talk and not following through with the walk, I definitely am looking more at the walk.
Again!
Don't care what the fuck we have to go through. I'm gonna go through it with you. We're gonna go through it together. I don't listen. If you gotta stay with me and find a job, we're gonna sit all night going through applications together. I will not let you fall. You understand me? I am never going to let you fall. I'm always going to have your back. I'm always going to make sure you have it. Look at me. You're not broke. If you can sit there and put food on the table, then you're fine. You got us.
So if you come across this woman, appreciate her, because she is rare. Flaws and all, she is rare. And she will have your back. She will do things that you would think no woman would ever do. And this is why I don't agree with that stuff when men will say all women don't love men. A woman can love you under certain conditions. And when she does, she goes all in. And this is something that you can't fake. So if your woman is like this and then suddenly she changes later, this is one of the few times I don't think it was faking. I just think the feelings faded. And the unfortunate thing in life is things change, people change, you change. So just savor it, appreciate it for what it was at the time, and then move on. But I will say, since I did have that at one time, I know that it is real and it does exist. And truthfully, I never found it again. So if she's watching that video, know that you are number one in that particular thing, because I've had women care about me, but never go to the extent or lengths that you did at the time. But all good things come to an end.
Here you go.
What is that?
It's your drink.
Oh,
This one you asked for.
thank you, babe.
You don't like it?
No, thank you, but I usually get. Why so small?
It's because that's all I had enough. I had enough only for that.
You don't have a drink?
No, I didn't have enough.
What do you mean you don't have enough?
I'm broke as hell.
You just got paid today. I saw your bank.
Things get rough. I had my car payment, my insurance.
Babe.
Things get rough.
So why'd you get a drink?
I don't know. I just got the little chill drink.
Babe, why'd you get a Starbucks if you didn't have money?
That's because I love you and I spent the last of it on it.
Well, I don't want to drink alone, babe. Here, you drink with me?
I got like 2 cents in my bank account now.
Oh my gosh. And you chose to spend it on Starbucks.
That's because you said you wanted it.
Babe, I didn't know you're broke. Oh my gosh. You want me to go in there and get you one?
No, you're good. I'm leaving.
Where's all your money?
What you mean?
I know it wasn't payment.
It was payments.
Where'd all your money go?
If you miss this train,